More light than a spike in your power bill. Or a match when it strike, we devour ill. They don't know how to feel. Their minds crippled, mental game bangers. Never saw losers, but we game changers. Rearrange strangers with the Rickens. Next mission, bring the light to your home, electrician. I've been grinding since the basement. If you know, you know, man, you not adjacent. I'm in a league of my own. My soul speaking through poems. Both your speakers are blown for my songs. Let's get it on. I'm ready for the challenge. The academy of dark and light is all about balance. Life's never perfect. Beauty runs deeper than the surface. Album on sale, but the soul not for purchase. Birth this ill style with mild symptoms. It gets them ecstatic. I'm a shock to the system. Warrior. Battle scarred, yet these bars hard. Thus became an author, not the art part. I say, this the hard part. Restarted the lost art. Can make a smash from the mouth. I'm an all-star. Like this, light switch. Life is priceless. Like this, light switch. Life is priceless. Hit the light switch if you need a light switch. Like this, right quick for the night shift. I got the light, he got the light, we got the light switch. Sacrifice a ticket to the afterlife. My mission is a done on earth. Alert the jerks. These verses fuel my appetite. I have the right insight. World needs the facts of life. Healthy as an apple slice. This what real rappers like. International. Took a vacation. Still working on my sabbatical. Casual but tactical.
Listen up, please.
I'm more than a chess piece. Pawn starving a bargain for scraps while the rest eat. Left me to fend for myself. And I conquered where the wild things are with the monsters. As the earth keeps turning, lies keep turning. My eyes see burning. Fire desire with quiet, I'm blessed as 3 sermons. Speaking that breeze, the feet burning. Billie Jean, you can see the light. Every step that I take, walk with a glow kept to my fate. Like this, light switch. Light is priceless. Like this, light switch. Light is priceless. Hit the light switch if you need a light switch. Like this, right quick for the night shift. I got the light, he got the light, we got the light switch. Shine on, young king, with the gleam of a colorful dreamer. Clean by the redeemer, queens of radiant demeanor. Beams of light, I know you've seen us. Shine bright through the zeitgeist. Banking on jewels, hit a nice heist. Drop a few gems, then ignite mics. Land of the free, but it comes with a slight price. You are not nice. Rappers wanna battle, not a sweat. Quiet is kept like Naruto's wife. He not a threat, young vet in the place. Masses, brains all trash. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. Darkness embraced like a plague. But our light never will be dim. Better grab a pair of shades. But shine all in your face. I got the light, he got the light switch. We can't stop shining, fam. It's what we do. Paint the sky blue. I feel a little static shock out here. What? They talk about
Okay.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the ERS Racing League. My name is Pixel Thomas, and apologies for the kind of late start. I had some issues with some stuff, but we are here. We should have the game on the screen any second now. If I'm correct, please don't tell me it's broken again. I'm afraid it's broken. Oh, tech issues, why? Do you want to work now? You wanna please don't tell me. There we go. It's up on screen. Just took 5 years. There we go. Here we have 14 drivers on the grid. Let's hope the audio doesn't need work. I've had a few things break here and there. But we're back. I'm looking forward to the race for today. So today we are here in Spain on the beautiful, beautiful track. I kind of like this track. It has enough like different stuff to make it interesting. It isn't like boring straights and stuff. Yeah, so once again, apologies that I was late. Everybody is almost on their time lap already. I'm about to set the first time lapse. So there we go. Borkus with the first time, a 112.3. As we are on board with Janice right now, whose battery is almost dead already. And he is just over halfway done with the fastest second sector. Brad with a 112.4. Same for Lindsay. And Markov with a 112.7. Jigsy 2 seconds faster, so he'll definitely have to set another one. Oh, Janice snatches first place away from Borkas with a 112.2. Oh, and we have Volkan, newbie, stuck in the gravel. And he has been disqualified. Or... Is it already happening now? Are we already having EA tomfoolery? Oh. Zongo with the fastest second sector. But that is our first disqualification for, from what I saw, bullshit reason. He just spun out and couldn't get back on track. There we go, Zongo, just barely P2 with a 112.37. Orca's right behind, now going into the pits for some fresher tires. But yeah, we have some great plans going on. Planned for the ERS Racing League. We have the Summer League ready and planned to start, which will take place in F125. The sign-ups are now live, so if you want to compete in these races in F125, then just join our Discord and you can apply there. And you can join the league, and we will continue everything in the new game. Mattis has also been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. What is happening with EA these last few races? We've had this all the time. Yeah, Opal's within 10th, yes. Oh, and there goes someone in the wall. That is, what was that? Who was that? Who was that in the wall? Someone was in the wall there. Oh well. But welcome Lenzi in the chat. Hope to see some great racing from you today. As it will be, I think, Rexon, who is going to be the first to start his time lap from the second half, and he is into the wall. There we go. That is definitely front wing damage. So I think next it will be Lumbergumber. No, never mind. It's not Lumbergumber. It's Kesha. Who is starting his time lap right now. Let's see what he's able to do. He did have some impressive speed last few times I was there. Last Tuesday, I sadly wasn't feeling too hot, so we didn't have commentary for the race back then. Today, I'm still horrible. I feel shit, but we don't care. The vibes here at the ERS Racing League are so good. Let's just have a great race. Fastest first sector for Kershaw. going off track. That was definitely track limits for Kesha right there. So now it is Jared who will be the first of the last few people to come across the finish line on this time lap. As it seems like someone is right behind him as he is on his time lap, or is he not? His battery is almost full, so I don't think he is going for a time lap right now. I think he will go for another one, and his battery's open, so this will be the time lap of Jared. He came across the finish line with a 1:16. What will Thomas do? His lap got disqualified, so then it's up to Lumbergumber with the fastest second sector. They can really go across the outside of that corner. As we go through the last corner, and it is P1, that is for sure. Yes, a 1:11.9, our first sub 12 second time. Driven by the one and only Lumbergumber, of course. But this is, out of the top of my head, the track where you show your best time and then you get basically placed in a tier based on how well you perform on this track. Oh, and that is someone, I think, going wide. To go out of the way. Here we are on board with Jared as he is rounding the last corner on his time lap. We have 9 minutes left to go in qualifying, and that is P10 still for Jared. 4/10 behind Jigsy. Thomas here with a fastest second sector from what I can see so far, which means he has pretty good pace as he is one of the two last people without a timed lap. What will his time be? And it will be P9 with 1:14, almost flat. Let's go on board with Raxon. He is the last person to set a time from the people that are still driving. Sadly, Metiz and Okan got their sessions disqualified for apparently no reason from what I could see. That is typical EA behavior, sadly. Here we go through the second sector. This is a really long sector, in my opinion, regarding this track. It was pretty low in the gear, in the revs, so I'm wondering how fast it will be as he spins out. Braxton will have to go for another try next time. Alright, let's go on board with Brad, who is 2 times faster than his previous time, which could end him possibly on the podium. And if it really pushes it, maybe even pole, but I doubt it. It's going to be close. No, it is not really. It's not just P2, however. That is pretty good, just barely ahead of Janice and Markov, who are really close, for thousandths of a second away from each other. That is extremely close. Longo's going into pits. Brad will probably also do the same, as Raxon is on another time lap from what I can see, but his battery is almost drained already. He is at 15% battery. How will he manage his battery as he is almost sliding through the corner like before? Will he have a good lap? 6% battery. He really just has to manage his battery. Even if he sets this time, it will be worse than it could have been. And the same corner causes Raxon to spin out again. That corner is not made for him. Jigsy's battery is almost drained already. I do not know what Jigsy is doing right here with his battery. as he goes cross track. Thought that the Formula 1 car became an off-road car and took it cross country. Lindsay isn't really going for a time lap. Borkas, however, he is at 40, almost 50% battery, as he is making his way through Sector 2. His corners aren't the smoothest, but he still holds pretty good pace. Tiny bit faster than his previous, but the times are really close together on the leaderboards. So these tiny wins could mean something. He basically just went drifting through that corner. Yeah, that it wasn't fast. That was a great feat of car control that we just saw there from Borkas, as he almost spun out, but just kept it under control somehow. Now it's currently both McLarens on their time lap. It is Lumbergumber ahead, and then Jared right behind. As Lumbergumber doesn't sat the fastest for a sector, however, he is faster than his previous time. Real interesting to see how Lumbergumber uses his battery, as he is using it really sparingly. Fastest second sector, still barely ahead, and that is a time lap for Lumbergumber as he spins out on the same corner. Raxon spun out twice. It's a tricky corner. Will Jared make it his way through there, though? Yes, he does. See how Jared manages the last two corners right here. Keeping control through the last corner. Will this be an improvement? We didn't have the chance to see it yet. It will barely be an improvement. Not enough to win another position with that, sadly. Thomas almost 4 times faster, as he is making his way through the tricky corners, and now he has 2 more corners before the timed lap. Making it through. He still has a lot of battery left as he goes through the last corner, and that is almost half a second faster, but not enough to win himself a position. We have 3 people on their out laps. We have Raxon currently on his time lap, as Jared is, I guess, making his way back. We have about 3 minutes left to go in qualifying, as everybody else is doing their last minute adjustments, as Raxon finds himself spinning out again. This is not the qualifying for Raxon. Let's see if Zongo has a good shot at making it through the corner that is coming up next. It is the trickiest corner apparently on this entire track, as everybody is spinning out. Zongo 3.5 tenths faster than his previous time. You could see that he was getting that little bit of oversteer, but he kept control of the car as he is going through the last 2 corners. He has a good shot at finding himself at podium, and maybe even P1. How will he compare to the rest? And it is P2, barely behind Lumbergumber. And it is really close competition at the front. What is Markov able to do? He is a 10th faster. He will have about the same time as Zongo was able to set. Is Lumbergumber safe? Is Lumbergumber on pole? That is the question. Markov is flying down the track still. Coming up through the fastest sector, and here we will be coming up to the tricky corner. Will the person ahead, then I guess that is Kersha or Zongo, one of the two, will they go out of the way as Markov is struggling to keep control of the car? Will he have the speed through these last 2 corners, through sector 3? And he's second now. It will be a close one. I don't think he does it. No, he does not. No, he does not. He just messed that corner up like almost everybody else. I really need to practice tracks before a race. You don't say, Jared. We've known that for a long time. And yet, when you're saying, and when I say like you gotta practice, you're like, nah, too lazy. That's on you, buddy. That is on you. Don't think Jigsy is going for a time lap. No, he is not. Kesh, however, is. He is barely improving his current time through Sector 1. How will he compare in Sector 2? He is 3/10 faster. This is a great improvement. Sadly, his lap got disqualified through the exact same corner as everybody else while he had the fastest second sector. Bummer that he wasn't able to make it work. Let's go on board with Lenzi, and oh my god, Lumbergumber improves his time even more. Will Lenzi do it? He has been happily surprising us the last races with how he performed. Currently he is drop smack in the middle, P7. Is he able to win a few positions with it? Made it through the corner. There is a Steak Sauber right behind. I think this is Zongo with the fastest second sector right behind of Lenzi. Is Zongo struggling? I don't think so. Zongo improves. Not enough, sadly, to win P1 with. And it is Jigsy in the wall as Lenzi finds himself in P4 with a massive front wing damage. Is not where it's supposed to go there, Jigsy. Yeah, his entire front wing is gone. So, what do we want to bet that he spins out through that exact corner that everybody else spins out in? What do we want to bet? He is taking it slow. He is taking it steady. Will he fly off? He is taking it too slow. There he goes into the pits, making us wait even longer. Or not. What is happening? He is staying out. Never mind. Just wants it over with. There we go. That is Jigsy across the finish line as he finds himself in P8. Well, as we will be loading into the official race, I will have to tell a little bit something, but these are the positions for the race here in Spain. Lumbergumber P1, Zongo P2, and Brad P3. Lenzi and Jennings to close up the top 5. Then we have Markov, Borkas, Jigsy, Kershaw, Thomas to close up the top 10. Then we have Jared and Rexon who set their times. And then sadly, we see Madiz and Okan here. That got disqualified at the very start of the qualifying. So I'm interested to see how they will compare to all these other drivers that we have on the grid, as they will start at the very back. But anyways, as we are loading into the race, I want to tell you that we are doing a little something just to try it out. Because in the new season, we want to vote for who is the best driver of the day. And the best driver of the day will get an extra point in the championship. So we will do that here. So everybody that is driving will be kept track of to see how they perform. And everybody can vote who they think is driver of the day, and that person should, in theory, get an extra point. So we're just testing that little something out. Hopefully it is a fun little feature that we can add. Everybody is setting up their cars. Everybody is choosing their strategy. As all the cars have loaded up into the grid. As we have the cars driving off to the formation lap. This is the usual place where I say I wish for a clean formation lap and I wish for a clean first lap. After that, I don't care what happens. All hell can break loose. Always me, guys. Yes, indeed, King Bears. It will always be you. Yeah, it is Okan at the very back. I'm interested to see how he will perform. I do not recognize his name. So we might have something interesting going on, as we definitely have something interesting that is happening, since it is Metis who spun out. Both of them really didn't get any practice during qualifying on this track, so they will probably struggle a bit, especially at the start of the race. Like usual, this is a 50% race, aka short race. It will take half the time of the official race, so about an hour. But yeah, it is Oka. No, never mind. Who is? It is Raxon all the way in the back. As I was looking away, he probably spun out as well. As he is wiggling. Does he make it through the corner this time, though? Ooh, almost slid out. Even during the formation lap, this corner proves tricky for Raxon, as all the cars are lining up on the grid. Don't worry about all the disqualifications, as we have... come on, man. Matt is spinning out again on the grid. This camera is horrible, so I will be swapping on board as the lights are turning on. And any second now, and it's lights out and away we go. As we hopefully have nobody spinning out. We have cars looking for opportunities left and right. It is Jared with a pretty bad start. Same for Brad. As we have cars going 3 wide through the first corner. Slight contact, slight internet issues. Lumbergummer finds himself falling down all the way from P1 to P6 right now. Battling it out. Never mind, it is P8 for Lumbergummer. Lumbergummer had the worst start ever. Now finding himself in P10. Starting on pole. And within the first 2 corners, he is now in P10. How will he be able to salvage all this? He is close to his teammate Jared, who is now in P12. Here we might be able to see a move from Jigsy on Brad, as Brad finds himself into the wall. And that is instant front wing damage through the first lap. Gasha losing a position to Janice. Will he be able to snatch it back, though? Looking around the inside through the tricky corner, as both of them managed to keep control of their cars. Trying to go for the switchback. Kersha tried to place it there. Didn't really have the place to do so because Borges is there as well. And this was the first lap here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Very eventful first lap already. DRS is enabled. Let's see, we might see some battles in the back going on, as we have Okan going for the move across Jared. Jared around the inside, almost sliding out, managing to keep his car out of the wall, however. But that will put him outside of the battles, as we have Rexon looking for an opportunity around the inside of Thomas. Doesn't really find a place yet. Doesn't really find a place indeed, as we are on board with Jigsy now, who was fighting real hard to place himself near the top of the field during qualifying. Finds him now staring at the back of Markov. Markov has proven himself to be a rough opponent, and you definitely cannot have an easy overtake with Markov, who is ahead of you. Jigsy also shown that he is a fast driver, is prone to make some mistakes though, so we might have ourselves a great battle on our hands, as Janice is just trying to creep closer, watching all the battles unfold in front of him. Janis with the fastest lap so far, as we have Markov losing, Lenzi losing a lot of time compared to Markov and Jigsy, who gained a lot. Jigsy going around the inside, going off track, slight contact between him and Markov, causing Jigsy to slide out, almost having Janis crash into them. That will be 3 positions lost for Jigsy. As I said, he is prone to make mistakes, and that gap wasn't really there. And that is Lumbergumber now finding himself currently in P8. He will have to show some magic to work his way all the way back to the front, to the position where he started in. Kersha currently with the fastest lap in P4, as he is gunning it down, getting closer and closer to Markov, so we might see ourselves 2 kick Saubers on podium. It would definitely be an interesting sight, since we do not see that a lot, just in F1 in general, but also here in the ERS Racing League. I also saw Borkas heading real close to the back of Janis. So we have great battles going on from P2 all the way, I guess from P1, all the way down to P7. As we have Kersha making the move on Markov, making it work. Markov struggling, almost losing another position. Markov will have the inside, however, as Janis is forced around the outside. In the back you can also see Jigsy trying his shot once again, this time on Borkas. Doesn't risk it just yet, but we might see something happen here down to the arrest zone. He is coming from afar though. Janis will have an opportunity to surpass Markov this time. Markov is really chasing Kersha, trying to catch all of the slipstream as he can, bombing it around the inside, has that little bit more speed, did have the point at the apex. Kersha real aggressively turned it in, crashing into Markov, causing both of them to spin out. That is 2 easy positions gained for Lumbergumber. As Kersha instantly overtakes Markov this time, as they are now stuck behind Jigsy. How long will it be before they surpass Jigsy? As Jigsy didn't have it too easy, found himself in 3 crashes, 3 mistakes that have happened. He finds himself sadly suffering the consequences of them. I see that this might be the closest battle that we have going on. Zongo is still leading the race after lap 1, as Lenzi is slowly but surely creeping closer. Kersha, who found himself on the podium for the tiniest bit, is now battling him P7, trying to work his way closer. Jigsy with the 3-second penalty, same for Thomas, I think, and here comes Kersha around the inside with the arrest, and that is Jigsy left behind them as we go through the first corner. So, you guys come more often? Yeah, let's see if we have an overtake happening here from Markov to Jigsy. Jigsy already got passed by Kersha. Jigsy is sticking close, however. We might see ourselves an overtake happen soon enough, as Thomas overtakes Mattis in the background, snatching the points away from Mattis if he is willing to push himself, because Thomas does have a penalty. Kersha might be fucked here since Jigsy is coming in quick with the DRS. And yes, that is basically a free overtake. Will Markov do the same? No, Markov had to come from too far away as Jigsy now finds himself ahead of Kersha like before. But it's fun to see that we have both people that got disqualified now in the points, P9 and P10, for both people that got disqualified in the qualifying. Real aggressive braking from Jigsy, making it extremely hard for Kersha to pass him through that corner. Will he do the same? Not through this corner, but he is blocking the racing line. Jigsy had a real bad exit through that corner, giving Kersha the possibility to creep closer, yet Kersha is not willing to risk it just yet. As we have our first retiree in the pit lane, it is Brad. He was almost a minute behind Jared already in lap 7. There, Kersha made a mistake, and that will cause him to lose a lot of time compared to Jigsy ahead of him. Lumbergumber slowly working his way back through the field after he started on pole, found himself on P10, and now is working his way through in P5. Zongo has officially lost a race lead through the first corner as Lenzi overtakes him. So we have a V-Carb leading the race right now. Lenzi is genuinely like a happy surprise with how much he improved through the league, like through the last couple of months. Real happily surprised. We might have 2 battles on our hands, so I gotta keep a close look on it. We have Lumbergumber and Borkas, as we have Kersha and Markov both looking to snatch a position away from Jigsy, who is right behind. Do we see it happen here, though? It is extremely close on both sides. As there goes Jigsy making a mistake, sliding off through the tough corner that we've already seen a lot of people slide out from. So that will be the positions lost. It is Jigsy who fumbled under the pressure as we have Lumbergumber placing his car beside Borkas and flying away. Same with Zongo now getting back, leading the race as they now have Lumbergumber in their mirrors, as they now have Lumbergumber preying on that position. How long will it be before he passes them all? That is Raxon with a 10-second penalty. I think he might retire. I'm not sure though, as he is all the way in the back with penalty now given to him, as he was already pretty he was pretty behind on the rest. So I'm interested to see what he will do. He is standing still for quite a long time as we have Lumbergumber going for another move around the inside. Came from afar, used his brakes late as we have them still side by side. Jen is not willing to let go of that position. However, it is Lumbergumber who just found the speed at the exit and finds himself now back on the podium. In the back, we have Metas losing in position to Thomas, as they are battling it out still. And it is Thomas going into the pit. I think this was the pit window that we had. Coming up, we have 23 more laps to go, as we have Markov still trying to get past Okan, who has just been working his way through the field, winning a lot of positions with all of this this chaos that is happening. Jared finds himself in the points right now as well, as he is driving on the older tires, as Kersha and Thomas are getting some fresher tires that they can squeeze all the speed out of that they want. Oh, Lumbergumber trying to make a move on Lenzi, and that is a tap to the back of Lenzi. Lumbergumber will have to give that back, otherwise if he used that opportunity to overtake him, that would definitely have been a penalty. It's unfair racing that we always love to see, as Jen has used that time, used that mistake. Same for Borkas to creep closer again. as we might see ourselves an overtake happening right here. Lumbergumber placing himself besides Lenzi, and that is Lumbergumber now in P2 as Janice tries to do the same. Came from afar, decides to stick it even though there is no gap at all, causing him to get a 3-second penalty, also losing a lot of time, and also causing Lenzi and Borkas to lose time just by trying to go for a gap that isn't there. Had to turn his car into a lawnmower to even save it. Come on, Janice, you can do better. We've seen it before. As he goes for another gap that isn't there. Janice, what are you doing, man? Janice is not doing it once, not doing it twice. He is doing it 3 times. Trying to bomb himself around the inside where there is no space. No space at all. Caused Lenzi to lose another position because of it. Now Borkas finds himself on the podium of the mistake of Janice. As Lenzi now tries to, I guess, salvage the situation that he can. As Borkas tries to fly away, and he is somewhat succeeding at that. Lenzi finds himself now under pressure from Markov, who is coming or Okan, who is coming from behind. Slowly but surely creeping closer and closer. Lumbergumber found himself within attacking range of Zongo, so we might have ourselves an overtake happen soon enough there as well. Braxton with a 3-second penalty. Going through the exact same corner as he always spins out on. So I guess I can, I think I can guess what happened there. It is a really tricky corner. As I saw indeed Lenzi going into the pits, we have Okan trying to use this moment to creep a little bit closer. Lumbergumber used this time to get closer and is now within attacking range of Zongo, or at least Zongo is now in attacking range of Lumbergumber. So he has to worry, he has to really show some great defensive driving here to keep Lumbergumber behind him, because it is clear, it is common knowledge that Lumbergumber has more speed. But how will he try and surpass Zongo? Zongo has proven himself over and over again that he is one of the fastest drivers in the league, and that he has the skill, that he has the knowledge to try and keep this man behind him. How long will he be able to do so? Will he be able to drag it on till the end of the race? Or will we see an overtake happen soon enough? Getting close. Zongo doesn't have the DRS. Lumbergumber is already besides him. And that is Lumbergumber, after the first corner, finally back leading the race here in Spain. In the back we have Okan finally making the move on Markov. Markov now finding himself drop a bit further back. P5. Still, both of them have a good shot at podium, as Janice is the one to set the fastest time, even though he's in P6, 17 seconds behind and a penalty. He is not willing to lower the speed, lower the pressure that he's putting on himself, just like Jigsy is putting on Jared at the end of the straight with the DRS. Basically just an overtake by the book, as Jared drops down to P9, as the people now on fresher tires are using that speed to fly past Jared again. Jared still on the older tires out of the top of my head. Let's have a look. Let's see. Yes, Jared is indeed still to pit. Same for everybody else except for Janice. So P1 to P5 still have to pit. So how will they compare to the fresher tires? that are getting closer and closer every second. As we have Markov going into the pits, Okan staying out, Bork is going into the pits. So then we have the top 3 who still haven't pitted, of which one is Lumbergumber. Let's see how he is able to compare together with Zongo, compared to Janice, who is, well, I guess, getting closer and closer as the other 2 are still in the pits. There comes Janice, and he has surpassed Borkus and Markov. So that is Janice currently in P4. They have a 16.5 second gap if they pit now. But he is closing in quick. So how long will these stay out before they decide to go for the strat of getting fresher tires? Because the longer they wait, the closer Janice gets and the more time they lose compared to the race lead, which would be Janice this time. Because if I'm correct, Okan still hasn't pitted. There goes Zongo, and it is just our race leader who hasn't pitted. Same for Okan. Okan hasn't pitted as well. Interesting. Same for Jared, currently in P9. Who is losing a lot of time compared to Keshu, who is coming up from behind. So that is Okan just finding himself in no man's land, as Thomas has disconnected for the 6th time. That is some real connectivity issues that we see right there from Thomas. But here we should have an overtake happening. Lenzi coming from afar. Orcas doesn't have DRS, doesn't have the speed. That is a beautiful overtake. Not really any tension going on there. Just clean overtake, as you always try to do. Jared finally decided to go into the pits, as we have Janice, the one with a lot of speed, now finding himself behind Zongo. He has more speed. You saw how close he was getting. Is he able to surpass Zongo, who showed a great feat of defensive driving compared to Lumbergummer? But I think if we keep going, Zongo is outside of the DRS. So if we come up to the DRS zone, I think that will be the end of Zongo, as Janice is using this moment to climb a lot closer. Doesn't make it work yet. Through the trickiest corner of the track. Both of them keep control of the car. Zongo almost lost it, however. But keeping on the track through the last 2 corners. And then we might have an overtake on our hands as we go towards the finish straight with the DRS zone. Will Janice be able to squeeze that speed out there? It does seem like he's able to. Already beside Zongo. And that is podium for Janice, as long as he is able to create the gap and find himself able to climb out of that penalty, because out of the top of my head, he has a 3-second penalty indeed. Borkas has a 10-second penalty. Jigsy a 6-second penalty, as we have both Thomas and Rexon all the way in the back with 13 seconds penalty. That is quite some. Yes, indeed, King Beers. Okan currently in P2 after he got disqualified during the qualifying. However, keep in mind, both Lumbergumber and Okan still have to pit. Both of them are actively losing time compared to Janice, who is closing in quick. I think Okan just tries to squeeze all the time he can get out there before Lumbergumber goes pitting, so he can, I guess, lead the race for a lap or 2. Where I think Janice will find himself getting too close for comfort there. Will Zongo be able to fight back the position? He is doing it at the very end of the straight. He is ahead at the apex, sticking around the inside. And Zongo snatches the position back. Zongo once again on podium. As we have Borkas, who finds himself in a V-carb sandwich. I don't know if that is very tasty. Eating the V-carb sandwich. Has a lot of carbs in there, though, as Borkas is closing the racing line off for Markov, who had a great line to use the overtake for. Borkas luckily saw that in time and close the gap before Markov could capitalize on that. Bork is now looking to fight that position back of Lenzi, trying to keep both three cars behind him instead of being stuck in the middle. Is he able to do it? However, I don't think so. Hello, Steve-O. Welcome in the chat. All right, we might see something happening here. It seems like Markov has more speed than Borkas. Is he able to use it? Borkas going slightly off track, losing a lot of exit speed because of it. And that is basically a free overtake for Markov, as he now is looking to get that position from Lenzi and work his way forward through the grid, as we have Zongo, who is still battling it out with Janice. Getting close, we have great battle. Borkas now being overtaken by Lenzi, who just forced himself in there. As indeed we still have both the carbs ahead of Borkas. Will Borkas be able to win some time back, win some positions back, as we are going to the trickiest corner of the track? We have 13 laps to go. So we are over halfway done. And it hasn't been a boring race whatsoever. Still, both Lumbergarm and Okan have stayed out for all this time, as Jen is still actively creeping closer, and Okan is still actively losing time compared to Lumbergummer. Here we go. Borkas did have the better exit speed. Lenzi, however, does have DRS. Apparently is using his ERS and is managing to stay ahead of Borkas for now. Thomas gets another 3-second penalty. But I think Thomas just doesn't have the race for him today, as he is having connectivity issues, as he is getting penalties left and right. And he is still driving. He is, sadly, all the way in the back, but still impressive commitment that he is showing. After all this, he is still willing to push it. We have Mediz overtaking Kesha down the straight, as we have Jared in no man's land. Same for Thomas, and same for Braxton, who just is battling it out, I guess, with Kesha. Not something you'd see often. A back marker using that moment to catch up and actually gain some time. Borkas getting real close, almost touching the back of Lenzi through the trickiest corner. Lenzi is taking it extremely safe through that corner, almost sliding out still, having a horrible exit now. Will Borkas be able to use this opportunity? Doesn't seem to be able to yet. Lenzi finds and squeezes a little bit of speed out there to stay ahead so far. Blocks the racing line off for Borkas through that corner, causing Borkas to lose quite some exit speed, which he could use for the overtake. We have Okan, who finally decided to pit, finding himself now in P8. From P2 all the way in P8, as we have Thomas getting another penalty and finally pulling the plug out of the race after everything that happened to retire in lap 21. That is impressive. I saw him reconnect, I think, like 3 to 4 times. Gasher also has DNF'd in the pits. I do not know what caused it. I think he was driving pretty well, as Jared finds himself now in points. Even though he is 18 seconds behind Metas, he is in the points. Those points can really be used to I guess, win some positions in the championship. Yeah, if you want to participate in these races, our Summer League signups are now ready to go, and that will happen in the brand new F125. So if you want to participate in the brand new game in one of the best racing experience you can get for free, join our Discord and sign yourself up. Please, please, please do. I'd love to commentate on more races and seeing all these new faces. Borkas getting close. Is he able to make it work? No, he is not. Nope, he is not. as Rexon has surpassed the DNF point of Kesha, as all the DNFs are now all the way in the back. So far, still nothing from what I can see. But Borkus is staying within attacking range, finding some speed, closing the gap a little bit. Through the trickiest corner we go. And Lenzi does the exact same thing, breaking a lot through the corner, causing Borkus to just lose a lot of speed. Same here. Just Lenzi plays it safe, plays it slow. Forces Borkus to slow it down to make the overtake harder on him. As we go through the finish straight, now it is Borkus already right besides Lenzi. Both have DRS. Lenzi squeezes DRS, squeezes that little bit of juice out of that car, and manages to stay ahead of Borkus, who has been putting non-stop pressure on Lenzi at this very moment that Lenzi overtook him. Oh, Borkus almost sliding out. Lenzi going almost off track. Borkus kept control, however. We have 10 more laps to go in this race. As Zongo is leading the race. I didn't really see it, but I think Lumbergummer pitted. Yes, indeed, Lumbergummer pitted and finds himself now 2 seconds behind Zongo, as Janiz is about a second behind Lumbergummer this time. You can see how much Borkus is gaining through these corners just by how safe Lenzi is playing it right here. Through the last corner we go. Will we see a repeat of last lap? It doesn't seem like it. Both have significant speed. However, Borkus is closing that gap. He is showing himself in the mirrors. However, Lenzi is still staying ahead. And we have the newbie Alcan, who's at the fastest lap, all the way in P8. This is so close for the entirety. But I'm also keeping my eye on something, and that is Alcan, who is closing the gap quickly between him and Jigsy. Basically, Alcan already has the position since Jigsy has the penalties. However, will we see an overtake? Jigsy is going a bit wide, doesn't have the speed, and basically just leaves the door open for Alcan to pass him. Didn't really see the need for a battle, didn't really see the point of defending that position. So, Alcan gets a free overtake as we have Borkus still looking to win back that position. Lumbergummer in P2, snatching the fastest time, getting real close to Zongo. He closed that gap pretty quick. He was at 1.5 seconds a lap ago, and now he is already trying to place his car beside Zongo. Here we go. Doesn't risk it yet. He had the gap. He had the speed to place his car beside Zongo. Didn't want to risk it through this corner. Will we see it here? No. Lumbergummer is playing it safe. Releasing a little bit. Trying to keep himself as close as possible behind him, but not passing him just yet as we have a DRS zone coming up. I think he is waiting for the second DRS zone as we have the trickiest corner coming up, and he is bombing it around the inside. Gap wasn't really there, however, they are sticking it. Zongo giving beautiful amount of space for him so they can both drive their own cars, not crash into each other, as Lumbergummer finds himself back leading the race. Zongo was forced to go a bit wide there, so he didn't really have that exit speed. However, Zongo this time does have the DRS, as he is closing the gap, placing his car beside Lumbergummer. And that is Zongo back leading the race. That wasn't really all that smart for Lumbergummer to bomb himself down that corner, since indeed he is now back behind the same car he tried to overtake last lap. Battle versus number 1, number 2. Yes, indeed. These two really have shown themselves as great competition for each other. Zongo getting the fastest first lap, or fastest first sector. And we still have Borks in the back trying to overtake Lenzi. Lenzi is not making it easy on him. It's a close one. It is really close one. Corner cutting for Rexon. He is all the way in the back. It doesn't really matter. But here we have Lumbergomber. He decided to wait till this very moment. Use the same DRS as we have a virtual safety car. That is Rexon, who finds himself losing a front wing, I think. Yes, indeed. So the overtake we just saw doesn't really matter. Borks and Lenzi instantly capitalize on that virtual safety car and have gone in the pits. Alkan is staying out. We have Jigsy going into the pits. Will we have Jared going into the pits as well, as he is still all the way across the track? That is closing somewhat fast, I guess. As Rexon has retired in the pits. Didn't really see the need to repair his front wing after he was already a minute behind. This will give a great opportunity for the entire field to close back up, as we have a lot of people on the fresher tires, as we can see right here. We have Lumbergumber on 4-lap-old mediums, Zongo on 11-lap-old hards, Janice on 15-lap-old mediums, Markov on 12-lap-old hards, Akan on the softs. He still has to drive 6 laps on these softs. That will be tricky to squeeze that little bit of life out of there, as Lenzi and Jigsy are both behind of him with very fresh, very, very grippy medium tires. And Borka's decided to go for the softs. Zongo is going into the pits as well. Same for Janice, same for Lumbergumber. That is also for Markov. The thing, will Akan do the same? Yes, he does. It all depends. Where is Lenzi going to end up? I think Lenzi is going to end up behind everyone, because of all the delta speed that he has to keep in check. It's going to be a close one. He is going to win a position from Akan, I think. Yes, he does. Markov will stay ahead of his teammate, however, and that is a 4-5 for the V-Carbs. Wonder how long this virtual safety car will continue to do so, because we have the top 3 and now the top 4 all behind the official. Well, we have an official safety car. Why is it called a virtual safety car then? Oh, EA somehow keeps on messing up this game. I hope they really fix a lot of these issues in F125. I really hope for that. We have almost the entire field together already, except for Mattis and Jared. How long will they take to close, I guess, to join back the pack, who are all the way across from the circuit, basically on total opposite sides? As Mattis is somehow losing time compared to all the others driving behind the safety car. I don't think Mattis is willing to get closer. Lenzi has gotten penalties. He went forward into the pits and they saw that as overtaken, and now Lenzi has been given the correct penalty because it's EA, and EA doesn't want us to have fun. Yes, there goes Lenzi serving his penalty, I guess, and once again getting another penalty. Lucky amen, honestly, this is such a shit show. But here we have Jared behind Lindsay, not something I'd see, or what I'd expect to see for the race for today. As we have 4 more laps to go, we are still behind the safety car. Come on. We're probably waiting for the other two to join the rest of the pack. As we have Lindsay now on really fresh softs. I think he just decided like, okay, we have 2 little laps to go. Why not go for the softs? Why not go for the fastest time lap? For the fastest lap. Why not go for aggressively trying to go for the overtakes as all the others are still on mediums? Let's see what the tire situation is at right now before we go. And I guess have a restart as it is ending right now as Jared has rejoined the pack. All the top 5 are on softs. Same for Borkus, same for Lindsay on the freshest softs as we have Jared, Metis, and Jigsy all on the medium tires as we are going to see the race restart happen right here. The safety car is slowly making its way into the pits as they are driving away. Zongo will have to call the shot on when the race restart begins. It will definitely have to happen at the finish line. That is when the official race restarts no matter what. So here we go. The safety car has gone into the pits as it is Zongo who launches off. Lumbergummer wasn't ready for it and lost quite some time compared to Zongo while he was so close to it. Now he has to work his way all the way back, which he's doing a pretty good job at. You can see Jigsy looking to go past Okan. Didn't make it work. I think it was Markov who was just weaving, trying to get heat in his tires. Going down the straight, or maybe teasing. I do not know what that was. But here we go. We might see an overtake happen here from Lumbergummer to Zongo. We have 3 more laps to go. It's gonna be a very intense last 3 laps. Zongo is making a slight mistake, getting an extremely bad entry into that corner. Luckily, he's managing to keep Lumbergummer beside him. Borka's looking for the opportunity to surpass Jigsy around the inside. Didn't have the right of way. He didn't have the apex. So he lost that little bit of time. But he did place himself beside him. So what is stopping him from doing it again? Lindsay overtaking Metis on way softer softs as Borka's is struggling in the battle against Jigsy. Borkus, however, this time does have the better exit and has placed his car in front of Jigsy. However, Jigsy will have DRS and Borkus doesn't. Lumbergummer round the side of Zongo. Doesn't have the balls to do it yet. We have 2 more laps to go. He'll have to do it soon enough. Borkus and Lindsay still battling it out. Slight contact between the two. Borkus forced off track. Borkus forced to go into the grass. Caused himself to lose a little bit of speed. And that is Lindsay now surpassing Borkus. As Jigsy luckily, I guess, escaped the grasp of Borkus. Now having to worry about Lindsay coming up from behind. Few more laps to go. Still, it'll have to happen here or in the next lap, and that will be the last lap of the race. So they basically just have to do it now, or there is no more chances. So Lumbergummer, will he be able to do it? Will he risk it for the biscuit? Here we go into lap 32. Already right beside some. DRS is open, has more speed. And that is Lumbergummer taking back the race lead from Zongo, who is managing to stick pretty close to Lumbergummer through that sector. Jen is now within attacking range of Zongo. Same for Markov, same for Okan. We still have the great battle going on between Jigsy and Borkas, as Lancey already passed Jigsy. It is Jigsy forced around the outside, and Borkas having the better racing line, closing off the racing line for Jigsy. Jigsy now behind of Borkas. Metis is also trying to win that position, trying to creep as much forward as he can. Borkas and Jigsy already have the penalty, so he already basically has free Bs won, free positions won. But of course, he wants to creep his way forward even more. As we have Okan looking to go around the inside of Markov. Doesn't do it yet. Any second now, we will be going into the last lap of the race. Here we go, Okan already so close behind Markov. Doesn't really find the speed to have a clean overtake, but he does find it in the end, getting ahead of Markov. Okan now in P4. Impressive driver for someone who started all the way in the very back. Lumbergumber sadly lost a position to Zongo down that straight. It was a gamble that he took. Lumbergumber now finds himself in P2. Is he able to snatch back the race lead through the last lap? He is 2/10 behind, not even a car length between the two cars. As Zongo is showing great driving, managing to stay ahead through here. Janice is also sticking close. Will Zongo manage to overcome the pressure, overcome the stress of the bright, I guess, papaya McLaren from behind? Lumbergumber looks around the outside. Slight contact between the two. Lumbergumber had the better entry. Zongo had the better line. However, he lost it. Still keeping the car on the track. Losing a lot of speed, though. Still sliding. Janice will have a good opportunity to go for the overtake. Will he be able to do it? Lumbergumber wins the Spanish Grand Prix, but will Zongo be safe? Yes, he does. As we have Lumbergumber, Zongo, and Okan going from last all the way to third on the podium. As Jigsy loses it through the last few corners. He had such a great opportunity to win a lot of positions, win some points, and also fastest lap. But sadly not. It is Jigsy all the way in P10. And Jared finding himself in P9. That is not something you see very often. And I think this is a rightful driver of the day. The newbie Okan, someone I hadn't seen before, finding himself on the podium all the way from last. That is almost a Lumbergumber type feat. Granted, the restart really did help that. But that is still so impressive of drivers, because it isn't easy to compete in these races, let alone go from last all the way to podium. Massive props to Okan. Same for Lumbergumber and Zongo for giving us the battle of a lifetime between P1 and P2. Great race. And here are the final standings of the race, if I am correct. Oh no, do we have... Okay, I don't think we have the final standings, as we have the black screen. Anyways, we know the podium. That is Lumbergumber, Zongo, and then Okan. Really not something I would have expected. Real impressive stuff from all the drivers. Sad to see that we had quite some DNFs, but that's just something that happens in these races. So yeah, really impressive stuff. I hope the commentary for today was pretty good. I am exhausted. I have had a pretty bad few days, but I'm always willing to make time for these races. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening to these races. And once again, we have the sign-ups open for the Summer League, which will happen in F125. So really do make sure to join the Discord and apply for these races, because we try and offer the best racing experience as we possibly can for totally free. Just sign up and you can find yourself within one of these races soon enough, with me hopefully commentating them. Also, if you ever feel like commentating these races, join our Discord as well, and I will gladly help you further, because this commentating job, it is so much fun. It really is. But thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully I'll be back next Tuesday with Tier 3. Once again, sorry it didn't happen last Tuesday. But hopefully we will be back soon. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you.